thought you could get 2 Fs. Like, I thought it was hard.
You can't get 1 F.
Why?
You have to have a GPA of 0.7. That's a D minus. You cannot fail a core class. You fail a core class, you're repeating 8th grade.
Oh, so if I fail a quarter, then I get like B.
Listen, CORE.
Yes.
If you fail a core class, you're repeating the 8th grade.
Wait, what does that mean?
Oh my God.
I just literally went through the whole process.
So if I get
I'm not doing that again.
If you fail one class in your main class, you have
All right. This is the seniors, although we don't have seniors, we have sophomores. They pick the schedule. When you become seniors, you can pick the schedule as well, too. This is the schedule that they chose. If this is a crummy schedule for you, well, that's why they're seniors and you are not. This is the schedule. So on Monday, 3 weeks from now, today's a chapter review. I don't have a calendar on chapter review, which is why we're looking at what we're going to learn on Thursday, the calendar. To answer Jaden's question from the very start. So on that Monday, you're going to take 2nd and 4th period. Jace, I have no idea what they're going to do. Usually the 6th grade teachers kind of tag on the same schedule we do, but it's up to them.
we don't have finals.
I know. I'm just saying they usually they will generally do the same schedule because you have to take your final for me, which is Wednesday. Okay. All right. So 2nd and 4th period on Monday, 6th and 7th period on Tuesday, 1st and 3rd. That will be our final. Will be on Wednesday, the second one of the day, and on Thursday, just period 5, and that's it for finals. Every day is a half day. If you miss one because of either a sickness or an appointment, you're coming to school on Friday. No one else is coming to school. In fact, all your teachers will be looking at you strangely, like you're the only thing standing between me and summer vacation. Right? No, we won't look at you that strangely. All right, let me continue to talk. All right, every single day it's the same basic schedule. For those of you that remember, have good long-term memory, nothing's changed from the last 3 years. You show up, you go to student advisement for roughly a half hour, something like that. You use that time to study for your period 2 test. Then you go take your period 2, hour and a half. Then you go back to student advisement for another study session before your second test of the day. Then you go home, or then you go to that period, take your test, you go home. Every day dismissal is at 12. The test is designed to end right at 12. Okay. Every single day, the same thing. On Thursday, there's only one test. The last day of the school, because we have lockers now. We didn't do this last year. We didn't have lockers. This is how it works. We only have one test that day. It'll be the first test you take. Okay. When that test is over, you're going to go back to student advisement. We're going to do 2 things. 1, we're going to make you clear out your lockers. 2, we're going to make you turn in all your books. Right? The books will be inspected. If you screwed up your book, then you'll get on the naughty list of I got to pay for a new book type thing. Miss Gasper will be here to handle all that stuff. No, you don't need to bring money that day. However, if you've lost your book, and you already know that, I would head that off pass immediately, and I would go talk to Miss Gasper before that. All right, that is what the last day or last week will look like. Hi, what?
So first period PE. What is this? PE?
You talk to Miss Allen.
No, we don't take a test.
I can't tell you anything except for what's going to happen on Wednesday, second class. I will give you a full hour and a half test, as I always do. So I don't know how many questions, but it will take up for the kid that is the slowest in the class, it will take them 90 minutes to take their test. For the kids that's super fast, it's going to be an hour, right? You're not going to be done in 20 minutes and like, oh, I got to sit there for an hour and a half. You're not going to be done in 20 minutes. Trust me. All right. We will do 3 days of review before the semester final. As always, I will hand you a packet that will look exactly like the test. You will know exactly what the questions will look like, exactly what the material covers. The only difference between semester finals and my normal test is 100% multiple choice questions. Abby. Yeah, there might be a calculator portion. I haven't made the test up yet, so we'll see.
So, like, it's gonna be all like circles, like.
I never make the test super easy. It's just a normal test. All right, yes. What?
So what if my book fell apart day one?
Okay. If you have normal wear and tear, you have nothing to worry about. If you have abnormal wear and tear, you will be paying for the book.
Like if I ripped it and
Well,
tried.
'cause my book
So
was
the
already
kid
on
with
the
half-eaten pages, they're going to be paying for that book.
Oh my God.
Oh.
We know that these books now are 3 years old. This is what a 3-year-old book looks like. Okay, the corners have a little bit of wear and tear on them. As you open up the book, there might be a page or two that has been accidentally ripped, right? That's normal wear and tear. Abnormal wear and tear is literally the front page is torn off.
What about,
And some kid says, "Here's my book," and they have two hands,
what
right?
if like the inside of the page is.
We have some books that where the center has pulled apart from it.
Yeah.
That's normal wear and tear. What's not normal wear and tear is there's pages missing. Pages, plural. Right? If a page is ripped, we would hopefully you didn't throw it away. It's still there. Yes. We've not made that decision, and that's one of the things we got to talk about. I will say this: you guys are talking, you're not listening. The one decision that we made, and this was first year, was that your student advisement teacher will be your student advisement teacher until you graduate. So I'm of the opinion, we have not made a decision on this. Since the student advisement teacher isn't changing, then I think we should probably keep the same lockers. But I'm not the one that. So you're witnessing not normal wear and tear. Right?
This was how I opened up my book day one and it fell out.
Yes, but there's taking care of my book and not taking care of my book. Okay. All right. Homework, get it out. Histograms. Now everyone listen. Right. Mouths off. Everybody listen. Mouths off. Last question. We're moving on.
Okay, so we're still taking the test, or so.
All right.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yes, we are taking the test.
Well, you said we were doing Thursday stuff.
It says we're on Thursday.
Oh my God.
But then,
I needed a calendar to show you. I don't show a calendar on chapter reviews. We just do the chapter review. So therefore, how was I to show you a calendar unless I picked a class that had a calendar in it? The first one that has a calendar in there is 13-1.
So we're not doing.
So we're not doing
Oh my God.
Right.
We needed a calendar that shows our semester testing.
All right. Any questions on the histograms?
No.
Okay.
No.
You messed.
I messed up a little bit.
You said you literally admitted to me that you didn't in Latin.
Okay.
Like I didn't.
Clearly, these are random numbers just written on a page
No.
with bars.
I
Okay.
did it right.
Well, I already know the homework, and these are not the numbers on the homework.
Yeah, huh? Because you have to.
All right, Gabby, hold on.
I don't know if I did it right. I think I might have skipped.
Okay, this is how I know you put random numbers, because although one of the questions has a 5, the other ones are double digits.
But-
All right, and this one has triple digits.
I did not put random numbers.
Every question you have there starts with 2.
Yeah, because you have to.
2 is not one of the numbers on the other ones.
Yes.
All right.
You probably just did it wrong.
Just so you know, the chapter review I'm about to show you has everything that will be on the test. So when you have a specific question, there's no numbers that start with 2. It starts with
No.
20.
Yes, correct. But that 20 goes up this
X
way.
values.
You have to count how many or.
The second column is the vertical. All right. All right. Lost my the test. I'm going to hand you a practice test. If it's on the, are you listening? If it's on the practice test, it's on the test. If it is not on the practice test, it is not on the test. There's one weird thing about the practice test. I couldn't get it to do a frequency table. I can give you numbers to make a frequency table. I couldn't make it, it's a computer program that does it. I couldn't get it to say, hey, give me a problem that has frequency table. So I took a mean, median, mode question, and the instructions say write a frequency table. When you flip it over, like, oh, let me check my answer, there's not a frequency table there. There's an answer for mean, median, mode. You'll see why when I hand it out to you in a second. Okay? All right, any questions on the homework before I collect it? All right, Brecken's coming around to grab your homework. We are going to briefly, usually you do this on your own, but we will briefly go over a few of these so that I can point out the important parts.
Thank you.
You are going to see, I already made the test, and there's only, I think, 12 questions on the test. There are only 12 questions. The issue, let me talk, please. Let me talk, please. The issue, as you will see here in a second, is that it's all graphs, it's all mean, median, mode stuff. So if I give you 20 numbers to calculate the mean, you're going to be spending some time adding and dividing numbers.
AC is cooling.
You guys are talking, you're not listening. Okay? So even though this particular one, I think I gave you 4 problems for each subject, this one has 16 questions. This is not 10 minutes worth of work, and there's only 16 questions. These will take some time. I kind of took a guess at how much space you would need to do every problem. You're going to tell me whether my guess was correct or incorrect. I need you to look at questions 5 through 8. Everybody look at questions 5 through 8. Look at questions 5 through 8. Donovan, are you live right now?
No.
How would you know?
Because he's just not.
Because Don's out of town, I think.
All right.
He's in Arkansas.
So look at questions 5 through 8.
He was out of town.
Look at questions 5 through 8. Close your mouths. Okay. Questions 5 through 8. The setup looks exactly like the previous ones. The previous one are mean, median, mode, and range. We'll do that next. Okay. I want to do a frequency table first just to get that out because the answer is not there. So we're going to do 2 of these just to make sure we got this. All right, Brecken, pick one. 5, 6, 7, or 8. We're doing number 6. The process of making a frequency table is to look at the smallest number and the biggest number. Angie, smallest number, biggest number on number 6. You're going to have to check her.
77.
That's the biggest number, smallest number. I need to go from 62 all the way to 77. You don't skip a number even if it's not on your data set. Frequency table. So I write 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 60, I'm already bored, 68, 69,
100.
70, 71, 72.
But there's no 63.
Yeah, there's
Hey,
63.
Will you listen?
Bruh.
Are you listening?
Yes.
I said it before, I'll say it again. You're going to write every number between the smallest and the biggest one, even if there's no number in the data set.
Oh.
Okay? That's your first column. That's your X column. Your second column, F for frequency. You simply count up. All right, you guys do it. What goes for 62?
72.
262.
There are 2 62s. How many 63s?
0. No, yeah, 0.
64.
1.
65. We're assuming that Jaden is correct on this, or are we just
Zero.
agreeing? How many?
I don't know.
65? 0? 66?
0.
67?
3.
68?
1.
69?
0.
70?
1.
71?
1.
72?
1.
2.
All right, how do you know you didn't screw this up? This isn't part of the by the way, that's it. That's the answer right there, if it's done correctly. The way you know that you did, well, first off, you got to make sure you literally have all the numbers from 62 to 72. Secondly, you add up. This isn't part of the answer. This is a check step.
There's 76.
Yeah.
Yeah.
77, not the state.
Okay. I'm relying on you.
Yeah, 77.
73, 74, 75, 76. What are the numbers?
77.
I said 77.
Sorry, nobody corrected me till now.
Yeah,
How many 73s?
0,
74,
1,
75, 76,
1,
2,
2,
and 77.
1.
Count up these. This is the answer. Count up the numbers. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Are there 15 numbers in the data set? So we made a mistake. You see how that check step will keep you. Well, I'm just saying, which one?
You skipped.
Which one did I skip?
The 2.
Which number needs to change?
No, you skipped 68.
2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17. Okay. Bad math, right? Even in the check step. Okay, that's a frequency table. No, I'm not going to give you 4 on the test, right? There'll be 2 of them. There is nothing else to do except make that frequency table. When you flip the page to the very back and you look at the answer for number 6, it says, mean, median, mode. I just couldn't get the computer program to say, have them make a frequency table. I could give you a frequency table. I couldn't have you make one. Is a frequency table, questions 5 through 8, something you can do now?
Yes.
All right.
I never knew how to do that.
We're going to do one of every section. Section number 1, it says find the mean, median. Oh boy, you're going to spend time on this. That's why there's.
5, 6, 7, and 8. You did mean and median.
I'm going to throw things.
Oh my God.
Jaden, you literally didn't hear me say 4 times.
No, but it's a negative frequency. Why is it being median?
You're doing this on purpose.
I'm
All right.
gonna throw hands at you.
All right, questions 1 through 4. Abby, pick one. Please pick the easy one.
4.
4 is the easy one. Guess which one is the hard one?
2.
2 is the hardest because it's got the biggest numbers or most digits. Remember, mean is the one that we have to do a lot of adding and dividing. All right, we're going to do it to number 4. So to do the mean, median, mode, range, it really doesn't matter the order. If you want to put them in any order, you can. Which one you want to do first? Mean, median, mode, or range?
Median.
Okay, let's do median. To do median, you put the numbers from least to greatest. Make sure, grab your pencils. Let's do this together. We're doing number 4, median. All right, somebody's check. If I were doing this, I would be crossing them out on my paper as I write them down. Least to greatest. It starts off with a 1, then there's a
1.
and then there's a
1.
and then there's a
2.
See what I mean? We're already disagreeing. There's 4 1s and then a
2.
Another 2,
Then a 3.
then a 3,
Then a 3.
How many 3s?
4,
Okay.
1, 4.
1 4.
3, 4,
2 4.
3,
3 4.
2.
Oh my God.
6.
There's 3 4s
And then 1 6.
and then 1 6.
What about
No, there's
5?
not 5.
Good lord.
Oh my
What are
gosh.
you doing?
I'm doing my best.
So
No, you're not.
literally as a class, we had what 5 people yelling out numbers and all 5 made a mistake.
No, I know.
We can't count.
Okay. I'm just going to say, as you do this process, listen please, as you do this process, it's not a hard process. The difficulty comes in just the mechanics of writing the numbers and not making a silly mistake. Write a number, cross it out. Write a number, cross it out, so you don't make a silly mistake. Okay, median, we cross off the first, we cross off the last. Cross off the first, cross off the last. Cross off the first, last, first, last, first, last, first, last, first. The median is 3. Okay,
Can we just like put like mode mean it like in like 3?
yeah. Now, on your test, I need to see this. The only other time this becomes challenging is when there's an even number of numbers. By the way, I would have counted these numbers and then counted the data set to make sure I had the same number. When you have an even number, you wind up with 2 in the middle. What do? You do
2.5.
You add the 2 together, divide by 2. Everybody okay?
Yes.
That's how you do medians. All right, what's the next one we're gonna do?
Mode.
Mode. Which one is repeated the most?
4. No, 3.
We have 3 4s, 3 3s, 2 2s, but we have 4
Ones
1s.
or 3s.
Ooh, 3s are 4. So we have 2 modes, 1 and 3.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what if it's just like what, like just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No mode.
Range. Let's do range.
No mode if no number is repeated. Did I give you one like that?
No, I'm
Yeah.
just wondering.
I don't see one. Okay. What are we doing now? What's left?
Range.
All right, range is the next easy one. It's big number minus smallest number.
5.
So 6 minus 1 is 5. So we better put some labels here. Let's see. We had median is equal to 3. We had mode, MO, is equal to 1 and 3. And now we have R for range. Yeah, you can use those abbreviations if you like.
Wait a minute. Oh.
Ah.
Mean.
Well, luckily, Abby picked the nice one. I'm going to say number 2, and I will put these numbers. Do not think that they're going to look like number 4, right? There'll be some blood and sweat in this, right? Tears for some of you. I won't put 2 of them like number 2, but I'll put 1 of them, right? One of them will have numbers. It could be decimals like in question number 1 as well, too. Okay? Make sure when you're adding decimals, you line them up. All right, we have to add them all up. Let's see if we can do it in our heads. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 11, 14, 17, 24, 28, 32, 37, 43. 43. How many numbers were there? How many numbers were there?
There was
1, 2, 3, 4.
So we
5,
better
6,
count and
7,
make
8,
sure.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15.
Do you see how literally people are yelling answers and some of them are wrong?
I was
You
right.
can make a silly mistake really easy on this, right? This process, none of this is challenging the process. It's challenging simply not to make a silly mistake. Did we agree it's 15?
Yes.
No, 16.
Bruh.
Okay. 15 goes into 43. Let's see, twice. That gives me a 30. Subtract, we get 13. Bring down a 0 and a decimal place to the top. You guys are talking. Okay. 15 goes into the what? 8 times, I believe. Or is it 9? 45. No, that's too big. So it's 8 times. So that's 40. Carry your 4. So that's 120.
2.85.
That goes 7 times. 7 times. 35. No, that's too much. 6 times. So 2.86. Okay. So 2.9 if we want to round to the nearest 10th. Notice, do the instructions say round to the nearest something?
Yes.
I will make sure on the test date it says round to the nearest 10th. That was what, question number 4. I'm checking the answer. It already says 2.87, so they round to the nearest 100.
Can I use my calculator
All right.
on the test?
We would have gotten 2.86, and then the next number would have also been, it would have rounded up to 2.87. Abby, so usually on those, I don't make it 4, but 2 points or something like that. So yeah, it'll be worth more than a typical 4 points per question. Most of these are like this. Like there's very few, but there's literally like just one step to do, right? Okay, I said we're going to do at least one of every one. Are we okay on mean, median, mode, and range?
Yeah, it was easy.
I will
can
give
do
you
this
2
all
of
day.
those, or maybe 3. All right, flip the page.
What's the hardest one you put on this?
All right. Hey, sometimes this process is helpful, sometimes it's not. If it turns into a lot of crosstalk, or Jaden, or it's a whole lot of watching the teacher write numbers on the board, this is kind of a useless process. You should be doing this while I'm doing it. The next thing is a stem and leaflet. Oh, by the way, resource card, 1 page, full sheet of paper, front and back. Put what you think you're going to screw up on. If you, stop. If you think that you aren't going to remember stem and leaf plot, then that's what needs to go on there, right? I really literally shed a tear every time a kid calculates median and they do mean, and vice versa. Like you really can't tell you don't know the difference at this point. Don't make that silly rookie mistake. If it's mean, you got to calculate the mean, median. All right. Who's my picker now?
Me.
All right.
I volunteered.
Olivia, stem and leaf plot. Pick one. That's 9 through what? 12? Yeah, 9 through 12. Pick one. Let's do 11. Stem and leaf plot. Now, I will make sure that I don't put a stem and leaf plot like number 11. I didn't pay attention. I just said, computer, give me some questions. The issue with number 9 and number 11 is that the digits are really long. You see that? So when the digits are really long, you can't write a stem and leaf. Your stem and leaf plot will look really messy. We're going to do some rounding. So I want you to ignore for tonight 9 and 11. I want you to do 10 and 12 will be like the ones that I put on the test. So you want to do 12? All right, we'll do 12.
10 is better.
10. 12.
All right, we'll do 10. So we're going to ignore 9 and 12, 9 and 11. You can do 9 and 11 if you'd like. So 2012 Summer Olympics, countries and the medal counts. We have the Summer Olympics this summer as well too. It's in Japan. And there's always a big thing where they call up the countries. They say how many golds, how many silvers. They try to make it into a competition. There's no winners of that competition, by the way.
What's that? Are we supposed to be in Denver?
No.
What?
All right. All right. So we need to do a stem and leaf plot. Step number 1 of a stem and leaf plot is you write the numbers. I always recommend vertically from least to greatest. Now, they're sort of vertical, but they're certainly not least greatest. All right, smallest number. How about 3?
Where's 3?
Tunisia won 3 medals. Switzerland won 4 medals. Somebody help me out.
Lithuania.
Lithuania won 5.
Georgia won 7.
Georgia, not the state, Georgia, the country, won 7.
Kenya won 11.
11.
Oh wait, no, Poland's before that. It's 10.
Poland won 10. Kenya won 11.
There's 10.
And then Iran won 12.
Iran won 12. Belarus won 12.
That would be Delaware.
13 is Pakistan.
Kazakhstan, 13.
Brazil 17.
Brazil and Spain both won 17. Keep going.
Hungary.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. I would eat
you're
some
right.
if I could. Great Britain 65.
Where are you at? Ukraine, 20.
Yeah.
Wait, where's Ukraine?
Yeah.
Oh, 20.
We got France, Australia, 34, 35.
And then Great Britain was 65.
Sure.
Guess where the Summer Olympics in 2012 were held?
London.
I don't know, maybe.
Don't forget break.
Do I have them all? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Are there 16 countries?
There should be United States.
There, we have the right count. Okay, so your first step is to put them from least to greatest. Sounds like we're doing median. We're not doing median. Stem and leaf. You guys have not done stem and leaf and boxing whiskers enough to make a silly mistake, right? You can make a silly mistake by thinking you're doing stem and leaf and you do boxing whiskers instead. Stem and leaf. Step number 2, after you put them in least to greatest, is pick the stems. We go to the first column. By the way, what's the first column here?
The first spot.
Zeros.
What?
Oh.
Is there?
Because we have to pick stems.
What?
Okay. We go to the first column, same or different.
Same?
When they are the same, you go to the next column. Are they the same or different? Where do you see same?
Because they're all zero.
No, they're not. 1s, 2s, 3, 6.
Oh.
You guys act like you didn't do this before.
No. I really
Stem and leaf plot. We go from columns from left to right. Okay. We go to the first column that's different. Eventually, you may have one where the first column is the same. You go to the second column. Okay, our first column is the different column. We pick every stem that's there. So we have a stem of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're like, there's no 4, there's no 5. You still put it. Just like the previous one, we go from smallest to biggest, no skips. There's my stems. We draw a vertical line. We're doing 2 days of this. For those that didn't do their homework that day on stem and leaf plot, it's pretty painfully obvious. Okay. Step 2, we attach, or step 3, we attach the leaves. 0 has what leaves? 3, 4, 5, 7. You can put commas if you like. Do they put commas on theirs? For the answers, no, they don't put commas. 1 has
0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 7, 7, and 8.
Wait, what? How do you get 0?
I understand this now. This
here's
is
the first
easy.
leaf of, or here's the first stem of 1. Its leaf is 0.
Oh.
Notice I'm trying to be neat and line up the numbers. 2 has leaves of,
0.
3 has leaves of,
4 and 5.
Would you 2 doesn't have? Oh.
2 has a 0.
And then 5 was 0.
Nothing, and then lastly a 5. There is your step. Well, except we got to put a key. The key is 6/5 equals 65.
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm confused.
One question at a time. Angie,
Where'd you get this?
you remember the last step? You pick one. You pick one stem and one leaf. Any one that you want. I could pick 0/3 if I want. I could pick 0/7. You just pick one.
Okay.
And you say what it is so that the person can read it. Because I don't know if that means 6.5, any of them. You can't make one up, you got to pick one though. Stem and leaf plot. Hey, that's kind of scary. I had way too many people look at this like I've never done this before.
Okay, now I
If you've
understand.
never done this before because you didn't do your homework, that's on you. Okay. There'll be 3 of these on the test.
3?
3 of these on the by the way, is this an easy or a hard one?
Easy.
Is there anything to actually calculate here?
No.
There's nothing to calculate. I don't understand why anyone would get this wrong. Right? There shouldn't be anyone to get this wrong and take a look at the answer. They picked Angie. Look at the answer. What did they pick for their key? They picked 1, and that seems kind of random, but you're allowed to pick anything you want. They picked 1, 2.
Why ask you
Okay.
that?
For those of you that are like, hey, I want to do some extra work, if you look at 9 and 11, they actually rounded to the nearest 1,000 for all the numbers. It just seems like extra work. I'm not going to give you that. Okay. All right, stem and leaf plot, done. The next one is box and whiskers. Box and whiskers. Box and whiskers.
Okay. You should do number
13,
Let's do 15.
Let's do 8.
15,
18.
8. There's no 18. There's only 16 problems.
I meant.
Which one are we going to do? It doesn't talk.
15. 15. 15.
Well, usually you want to see a hard one done, not an easy one.
Yeah.
No, 15.
16.
I'm going to
All right.
lie about this.
16 is the ugliest numbers. It turns out that box and whiskers, it doesn't matter whether the numbers are easy or hard. There's really, like, with rare occasions, there's no math involved. There's just a range of numbers. Okay, I'm going to have to write small because the numbers are ugly. Unfortunately, step number 1 for box and whiskers is to put the numbers from least to greatest. So we're doing 16. What's the smallest number? I got to write small.
81.
No,
Good
74.3.
Lord.
It's 74.3.
Okay, I got to write small. 74.3. I'm going to put a comma because there's too many decimals here. Next one.
78.2.
How about 77.7?
Is that
Oh, I'm blind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
77. You guys are talking a bit too much for me. 77.7. Then 78.2. Is that right?
Yes.
Then 79.
No, no,
78.4.
78.3.
Wait, there's
Four.
There's 78.2.
there's 0.32.
There's a 3 as well.
Yeah, 78.3 and a 78.4.
See how easy that is to screw up? Then 77.7. Is that right?
I think it's 79.7.
77.7. Oh, I'm sorry. 79 point what?
Oh my god.
7
Oh my god.
Make sure I'm not making a silly mistake here.
and 79.8.
Jaden, did you?
Stop. Next.
80.1.
80.1.
Okay. 80.1, 80.3.
Yeah.
Are there two of those? Yeah, there's two of those.
Oh my god.
Oh wait.
And notice I'm out of space.
How?
We're out.
What's next?
81.
A solid 81.
Yeah, solid 81.
Okay, keep going.
81.5.
No, 81.3. No, wait, no, man. 80.3.
No.
Just
We're
81.
past 81. What is it?
81.5.
Is that it? No, it's more. 81.5.
There's a solid 82.
Okay.
Just spell it the best you
And then there's
80.
80.4.
And then 82.5.
Yep. And then it's 82.7.
Is that it?
And then
No.
80.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
0.8.
0.8. Yeah.
Hey, we're losing our focus.
That was the last one.
We gotta count. I feel like we made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Are there 17 numbers?
Most likely not.
Yep.
Okay. Now, not convenient because my numbers curve around. Okay. I have to do the median. I'm gonna do the slash marks very lightly. I gotta find the median. There's no math involved. I'm just doing median. 1, cross off, 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 cross. Please. Oh, it's an odd number. We're gonna be happy. So there's my median. But the median, does anybody remember what we call it? Q2. Now that breaks up into the first half. And I can't put a box around the, well, maybe I can. Last half. Okay. Now we got to find Q1 for this one, Q3 for this one. Find the half point. So there.
78.35.
No, there's an even number of numbers here.
But how? It's 78.
There's even number of numbers. There will not be a middle if there's even number of numbers. Okay. There were 17 numbers. Please stop. There's 17 numbers. So when that one's gone, that leaves an even number over here and an even number over there.
You were saying
Yes.
The middle. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. So my middle two numbers are these right here.
What? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So unfortunately, quiet please. Well, we are lucky. He's saying, hey, look at the numbers. You think this might be a harder calculation. They're only a tenth off from each other. So I don't even need to do that math there. I know that Q1 is going to be 78.35. Where am I getting that from? Well, they're just 1/10 off from each other. Are we going to get that lucky over here? These are your middle two. We weren't as lucky.
82 and 82.4.
That'd be what? 174.4, right? Then we got to divide by 2.
170. Oh, yeah, I just think. It's
164. 164.4. Sorry.
82.2.
So 82.2 is your Q3. Who's lost in what we've done so far? Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay.
What? So it's even. Wait.
There were 17 numbers in our data set. That means the middle number is going to be the 9th number. That means there's going to be 8 numbers here and 8 numbers here. 8 plus 8 is 16. This is your 9th number. So that means there's one number, but that means there's 8 numbers here and 8 numbers here. When there's an even number of numbers, you're always left with a middle 2. You got to take an average.
I missed numbers. Oh no. Oh, down here.
Okay. To do the stem and the box and whisker plot by hand, it's pretty simple. Hey, my smallest number is 74.3. My biggest number is 83.8. Make your life easy.
70, 80.
How about we go from 70 to
90.
85?
Eh.
All right. So, and I'm going to go by
20.
Okay. So 70, 75, 80, 85. There's my number line. Hey, guys, seriously. If the people that were laughing and giggling and messing around had A's, no, but I'm just saying my attitude about the distraction in class wouldn't be the same. When it's the people that don't turn their homework in, currently got F's, different story. All right. So all we do now, remember, it goes from, quiet please, let's finish this up. Q1 to Q3 is your box. Q1 is 78.5, that's about right. I'm gonna put the box underneath. It's about right here. And Q3 is 82, about right there.
Wait, so you were
The
like,
whisker goes to 83. The other one goes to 74. And the median, which was Q2, is at 80, and we're done.
Thank you.
There's your box and whiskers.
When is the test?
Oh my God, Holly.
Wait, really, when is it? Yeah, I'm gonna bring a huge box of 30 wrappers.
Video game what? Depends which one. They had one that was like made in the 80s. Oh, dude.
Have you got PlayStation 5 yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That was where they all.
Coming out with a remake this summer.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good, but you gotta be careful. Sometimes trailers make something look good, and they're not that good.
Mortal Kombat was really good.
I never saw that one.
Mortal Kombat, I think, was pretty decent.